Be in the garden, be in nature. I trust you're well. I certainly am. Well, you might be wondering, because at this very precise moment, I'm not in the garden, nor am I out in nature, but I will be in just a short while. I've just driven many miles to a garden centre. It's in near Newmarket, Cambridge. I'm in the UK, and it's actually in Ely specifically. And it's a garden centre I've been to many times before. It's called Simpsons Garden Centre, and they do coffees and teas as well. It's an early Saturday morning, December, towards the end of December at the time of filming this. And I'm just going to show you around this garden centre because it is one that I do admire, but I don't get a chance to come here often because it is so far away from where I reside. However, I have a project, and this is a place I often come to get my plants. If you remember one of my videos on the crabapple malice, this garden centre specifically sourced them for me. They were Crabapple Prairie Fire, and it's this garden centre that specifically sourced out those crabapple trees for me. So they are that amazing. They can find different types of plants and their cultivars and the different species and be very specific. So you pay a little bit of a premium, perhaps, I would agree with here, but it's definitely worth the effort. So anyway, like I said, be in the garden, be in nature. Thank you so much already for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Okay. This is the root ball again. If you remember, I was talking to you about the root ball in my previous video. So here they've got some fantastic laurel, and the price here is amazing. This is where I am, just so that you know. I am not sponsored by them in any way, shape or form, but I have bought so many of my plants in my garden from them. And these ones here, you can see, I mean, they're taller than I am. These are probably about 10 feet tall. Maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe they're about 8 feet tall. And the price is fantastic. To have these, usually at £70, down to £35 is a bargain. An instant hedge, instant impact, instant height. They've got different sizes, so they've got the ones that were £45 down to £22.50. And I've planted this before, actually, this plant here. I forget its name. Sometimes, there we go, that's it there. But I've not had success with planting this in the UK, I have to be honest with you there. And again, a lot of amazing half-price sales here. This looks a little bit like a large fast-growing tree. Well, I think I better leave that where it is because I'm having to take down my laurel, not my laurel, my leylandii, because it is a fast-growing tree. These are all root balls. Another reason why these might be in the sale is because root balls can really only survive during the dormant season, so these have to already be planted once it comes to spring. When it comes to plants such as this one, I have no clue what it is, and I can't even recognise it from the buds or the stems. They do often have the labels. Oh, that's nice. Okay, they have some flowering currants. I like going for things that have got edibles as well, so this might be something. I'm going to just look this up, actually. I'm just going to look up the details of this particular plant. Not that I've got any space left in my garden to plant, but when you get the chance of getting something with a special price tag such as this, you always manage to find space, or at least I try to. Here we have the speculus, and look at the trunk. Isn't that a great look? So the bark, it's got this spectacular sort of marble effect. Very lovely. There's so many different features that trees can have, not just their form or the shape of the leaves or the buds, but also things like the bark. Okay, so sometimes they lose the labels, and it's just a matter of trying to do some research, or maybe use some of those apps that give you an idea of what plants, you know, plant identification apps. Which plant ID apps do you use? These are the dogwood again, remember? You cut them back so that every year they have bright colour stems. That's the secret really in keeping the bright colours. You have to cut them back clear, as hard back as possible, so that it gives you the bright colours of the stems. So what plant idents do you use? Ah, this Mahinia. Ooh, very prickly. Hold on. There we go. A fantastic plant for the winter. You can just see the buds actually are already, the flowers are already showing. So this one here is great because it offers food, pollen for the bees in the early, the start of the year. So as you can see, we're in December now, and this one is already flowering. So this is a great plants to have in your garden if you are trying to take care of nature, look after things like bees. They flower December, January, sometimes February time. There we go, and they're down to half price as well. So if you're in this area, you must come out and get yours. And here we have was £40, genuine sale, now down to 20. And isn't that a great idea for those of you who like real Christmas trees, for example? How about planting a real tree in your garden and watching it grow year after year, as opposed to buying one without the roots? Just a suggestion. I love the moss that's made its way onto the top of this plant. This is just fantastic. Isn't nature just incredible? And as I look up at this plant, I recognize it. However, this is Parthenocosis pointifolia. I'm actually looking for the Parthenocosis tricuspidata, but given the size of this plant here, given its size, and the previous price was £15 down to £8, I think I'm going to have to say yes to that plant. So let me just go and get a trolley. Foliate. Let's see if I can find some others. So to be able to get a plant at this height, and it's probably about 2 meters tall, this is an incredible price. I love coming to garden centres at this time of year. As I've said before, they might look a little tatty and stuff, but actually this plant looks exactly as it would if it was in your garden growing. And I can tell that the branches are still supple, they just bend, they're not snapping. But if you just want to doubly make sure, then what you can do is with your nail, just scrape back a little bit, and you'll see that there is life. It's green underneath. Yeah, and you can see the birds are green. There's still a lot of life in there. That's not going to damage it, it will heal. But this anyway is what a plant would look like anyway in the garden at this time of year. So why not buy it at half the price? Save money. Here's a plant that's caught my eye. It's lost its original label, or the information has faded off, but it does say here that it's a flowering cherry. Now I wonder if it's one that produces the fruit, or whether it's like a Prunus sorrello that just has beautiful flowers but no fruits. It is a little damaged in places, and it's such a shame it doesn't have the label, because if it did produce some fruits, I would absolutely put that in my trolley and purchase it. £5 in a few years, likely get some fruits. But as I said, my garden is full already. You can never have too many plants, but because I really don't know what genus it is, or species, or cultivar, I'm gonna probably give that a miss. But anyway, this one here I believe is a silver birch, and they're very pretty trees. It used to be £20, it's down to £7.50, and I'm going to have to find somewhere in my garden to plant this. And here's another one. I clearly can't help myself. Like I said, when it comes to garden centres, I clearly can't help myself. Now listen, if I can get this going, and this is down to £7.50 silver birch, you can see what a if this were not in the sale, the different size of pots. So the one I'm holding here is down to £7.50, and it is maybe the thickness of my little finger, whereas this trunk here is the thickness of maybe two of my thumbs. But if I'm able to get this to grow to this, which I will be able to over time, then you can see that this same tree in its full price is normally £65, although because it's in the sale it's now down to £35. So it just goes to show that sometimes growing trees and plants and shrubs and hedges are a bit of an investment. I see them only as that because the larger they become, the more they sell them for. So for me, if I can plant these on and get them to grow, then that's my justification anyway for spending money in the garden centre. What's yours? I'm surrounded by plants and positive energy and nature. I couldn't be happier in this moment. I think with these plants, when you buy them from the bargain buckets, the worst that can happen is that you give them a try and you give them a chance at life. And if they don't take, then maybe you can use the branches or something, or you can, at the very least, compost them down, and they will revert back to a source of energy for nature to be able to utilise. I might go and get my big jacket. Oh, there's a lovely multi-stemmed one there. Well, I'll try and create my own multi-stemmed one by placing a few of the pieces together. Okay, so let's get back to where I'm meant to be, I think. Okay, let's have a look at another part of the garden centre where I'm going to be looking at some perennials now. Okay, I'm on to trolley number 3. What does that say about me, eh? These are some large pots. They are, not sure what the medium that they're made from. have a look at the garden centres. They often have the bargain buys, and naturally at this time of year, middle of winter, they do look tatty. They don't look like much, but especially if you can grab things that are perennials that will come back year after year, then this is absolutely a great way of buying plants that are cost effective, because they will look tatty anyway at this time of year. So it's a fantastic way to buy plants, especially if they are perennials. Perennials meaning that they will come back year after year after year. You'll remember one of my videos, I showed you the wild strawberries, and here they are again on sale. I think I picked them up at 50p last year. They're down to £1 each, but they're definitely worth investing, because strawberries, as you know, will grow repeatedly, and not only that, they give you, a source of food. So let's see what they have here. Let's see if I can pick something up. There we go, perennials. Yeah, so when you're going to the garden centre, perhaps have a look at things that are perennials, because they will come back. Okay, so I'm just sort of hunting around. Oh, I love Helleborus, and actually they start flowering in from now, December, January, February time. I think this pot is down to £7.50. But they will come back year after year, Helleborus. Down to 20p again. These are mixed, like primula, and they are perennials. They will come back year after year. So it could be any of the colours, the yellows, the pinks, the purples. But at 20p a pot, such a bargain. Clematis, or clematis as you might pronounce them. Yes, looking tatty at this time of year, but of course they are. They should. But this is a great way to purchase them. So rather than paying the full price of £12.50, for example, or £12 in some situations, you buy them now, plant them out, and they will just bounce back. So this one's all the way down to £5. Absolutely a great time to collect your clematis. They flower year upon year and get larger and larger. So a great investment here. I might get some more blueberries whilst I'm here. I absolutely love blueberries, and whilst I have a lot of plants The price here just seems fantastic. They're dormant, but literally I just touched the leaves and they've fallen off. But they will bounce back next year, so I might invest in a few more blueberries. We'll see. If you can, plant some food. Plant so that you can have access to your own organic, homegrown produce. Okay, so you saw I just picked up some of the Parthenocosta's Coasters quinquefolia in the sale. I think they were down to £7. But here we have some which are not actually as large as the ones I've got in the sale. And these are £12 a pot, which in itself is a great price. Lovely like honeysuckle. Okay, so I think I need to get my produce or my plants to the tills so that I can pay for them and get home and plant them out. Another successful trip to a garden centre. Look at the colours, the displays, the choices. There's something here for everybody. Okay, so I'm going to have to go now. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Thank you for your support. If you haven't already, please a thumbs up, share, like, a comment. I'm answering your questions, you know that now, don't you? Which is fantastic. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching Be in the Garden, where I have visited an amazing garden centre. I will see you in my next video. Take care of each other and all the best for the season. Hey, don't ask me how I managed to, but I have managed to get all these plants in the back of the car. So this is a typical site where I go shopping and come back with a carload of plants. So thank you so much for watching Be in the Garden. Certainly I'm going to be in nature on the way home. Bye.